Security is being ramped up, especially at sports arenas and stadiums. Lots of college football games will be played across the country today, and then NFL stadiums will be filled tomorrow. And Dan's in Times Square with that part of the story for us this morning. Hi, Dan.
Paula and George, good morning to both of you. Cities across the country are boosting security in the wake of that horror over in Paris, including this city, America's largest metropolis, a place that is no stranger to terror, New York City. Here in New York, the NYPD deploying extra personnel and its counterterrorism unit. Critical response teams ready in the city's most visible targets.
Not only will you see an increased uniform presence with police officers with heavy weapons, there's also, we work with our federal partners, the FBI and the Joint Terrorist Task Force.
With one of the targets in Paris being a packed stadium, sporting venues across America will be enhancing security today. In Los Angeles, the famous Rose Bowl increasing its staffing and asking fans to leave their bags at home. The NBA and NHL putting its teams on high alert, but the NFL saying it actually won't be changing protocols as Sunday's games approach. The league spokesman saying security at our games is always at a heightened state of alert, adding all NFL stadiums are already equipped with metal detectors.
You can't view it as a nuisance. This is the world we live in now, and if you have to take precautions, if you have to go through screening, that's just part of the process.
With the attackers in Paris hitting so many so-called soft targets like a restaurant and concert hall, the NYPD and FBI will be working to keep popular areas around this city safe. You can expect heightened security at tourist attractions and on public transit.
The tragic events in Paris, we established a counterterrorism overlay. What that is, it's a heavy weapons emergency service officers. They go to high-profile and sensitive locations throughout the city.
It is important to note, very important to note, that the Department of Homeland Security is urging Americans not to panic, issuing a statement in which they say, quote, "We know of no specific or credible threats of an attack on the U.S. homeland of the type that occurred in Paris." Paula, back to you.
A very important note, Dan. Thank you. And authorities in the U.S. are closely monitoring the situation in Paris. ABC senior justice correspondent Pierre Thomas is in Washington. And Pierre, here in the U.S., we've been just as active in tracking down potential terror attacks, haven't we?
Yes, Paula, the FBI has dozens of investigations underway in all 50 states, many surrounding suspected ISIS sympathizers. They found a significant pool of people ISIS has reached through social media. In the last year alone, more than 70 Americans have been arrested for somehow trying to support ISIS, some accused of trying to join ISIS, others arrested for plotting attacks here at home. Most are young. Most are men, but there have been some women and even teenagers have been arrested too, Paula.
In terms of differentiating style, is there a difference between anti-terror attacks in France and Europe compared to what we're used to here at home?
The FBI employs many of the same tactics and has been extremely aggressive in monitoring radical websites and social media. One tactic not often utilized in Europe involves stings where FBI agents pose as terrorists, and officials here have been extremely aggressive about stopping Americans from going to Syria in the first place.
All right, Pierre, thank you very much. And Pierre's been reporting for months that they're sending out, trying to recruit 90,000 messages on social media every single day.
Yeah, and this is the #1 threat here at home.